Good morning everyone. In today's video I'm going to be analysing the live price action for EU and DXY to see what day trading opportunities we have for today. You're going to see my analysis and my strategy, so if you're interested in that, stick around. Right, let's get started. Here we are on the daily chart, so let me zoom in just slightly. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see that, as I mentioned, we filled this daily fair value gap down here. And since then we had a bullish push back to the upside. And looking into today, we have our previous daily high, previous daily low. As you can see so far, we swept our previous daily high and we're looking like we're rejecting it. So we may continue to trend from here, but let's go down to the intraday and we'll see what price looks like. Right, on the 4 hour, we have our 4 hour trend. As I've mentioned before, we have our lower low, lower high, lower low, and we've pulled back from our daily fair value gap, and there was a 4 hour historical order block around here also, and we had our bullish pullback from there. Now we're in the premium of this 4 hour leg. We've swept a previous high and we've swept that previous daily high also from yesterday. So price now, it's still in a bearish trend on the 4 hour. It's reasonable to think we could continue this bearish trend now from the premium of this leg. However, one thing to be aware of is of course this unmitigated POI above here in the, well, even more in a premium of the previous leg, and price tends to mitigate those, right? So if we are switching trend, we'll probably head towards that area. So that's just something to be aware of. But at the moment, we're still respecting structure, and price has swept buy side liquidity internally and so far rejecting. Now the 1 hour, which can tell a better story for our day trading intraday price action, you can see internally now in this 1 hour leg here, we are of course in the premium, right? We rejected this 1 hour POI and went and filled this 4 hour and 1 hour fair value gap and went and pushed to make a higher high. So we've made lower highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. So that's internally, price structure has been bullish. However, now at this point here where we swept this previous high in the premium, you can see we created some sort of structure and we've swept a high internally now, and we appear to be breaking down. So as I said in my video yesterday for my weekly outlook, if we were to have swept this buy side liquidity, it's reasonable to think now we're going to head bearish at least until this area. If we have switched trend, right, regardless, price is going to want to seek out some sort of discount, sell side liquidity before continuing again to make a new high. So we've got this high low, high, prices create some sort of structure. We're either going to continue to trend or it's just a pullback. Either way, I would be looking to at least see us go bearish to this area. Now price may just sweep here and continue, but that's why we wait for structure, right? So the story of today is we've swept internal buy side liquidity, previous daily high, we're in a premium, we have a fair value gap which is only partially mitigated to attract price within a discount of this, internal leg here. And that's where my bias is from looking at EU, is that, this price action will result in us being bearish, at least on the short term. On the M15 here, just so we can see this even clearer, you can see we swept the high from Asia. Okay, we've now broken down. We haven't really closed below it. We've swept that liquidity now, which would be a negative for our shorts, at least on the M15. So we have this negative now of, the Asia lows being swept and price hasn't closed beyond it on the M15. M15 is a great time frame for structure, right? So if we'd closed below that structure, we'd look good to continue lower, in my opinion. However, the story still remains. We have swept buy side liquidity a couple times now. Internally, price action is bullish on the 1 hour. However, we are still within that bearish 1 hour leg. We'll see how this pans out. So far, yes, I am more biased towards a bearish EU. let's go over to the DXY and see if that agrees. So DXY here on the daily, recent price action, you will see, of course, we had our bearish move down, filling this daily fair value gap. Price is now, finding some sort of support by the looks of it. We have our previous daily high, previous daily low, and just like EU swept this previous daily high, we have swept the previous daily low on DXY. It's reasonable to consider now, with this area filled, we could continue our bullish trend. We have a fair value gap here, high time frame POI, fair value gap, still to draw price higher, which price may fill. But of course, we have filled this weekly fair value gap from a previous week. And we have a monthly fair value gap above as well, which may draw price also. So what are we seeing here on the 4 hour? Again, like EU, it's the same structure. We have a bullish structure still remaining. We've pulled back bearish. We're in a 4 hour and 1 hour order block POI. We've swept previous daily lows. We've swept previous lows here. So we've swept plenty of sell side liquidity while being in an order block for buys in a discount. Okay, we've rejected this 4 hour fair value gap, but we haven't made a lower low. Price is finding some sort of support here. So let's go down to the hourly. On the hourly, similar to EU, we still have this bigger bullish leg. We're in that 1 hour POI and we've pulled back internally bearish, but price is showing some support here. And again, we've swept previous lows and Asia highs during Frankfurt, as you can see here. So same as on EU, we have this 1 hour fair value gap, which could draw price higher. We could see price come into this area before heading lower if it wishes to, or breaking that area to continue its bullish trend from this higher time frame POI. So far it does agree. We're yet to see the lower time frame switch that we want. DXY, you can see now, I don't know if we swept it, possibly not. So we have maybe a small bit of SMC divergence. However, the confluences still exist for that higher price, right? We still swept that sell side liquidity from Asia during Frankfurt. We're in a high time frame order block. We've taken loads of sell side liquidity and it's being with trend. So let's head over to EU and just summarize. So in my opinion, DXY does agree with EU. You can see here we're possibly making that lower low in the next 2 minutes. If that closes out, that gives us an M15 break of structure, right? Some people will count this wick as a break of structure anyway, but I prefer to see it close below. EU and DXY have both taken their opposing liquidities, buy side liquidity breakdown. Of course, DXY here has taken its sell side liquidity and had some sort of bullish move, yet to break that high though. We have a high time frame order block in this area on DXY, which helps. We would be trading with trend. We have this 1 hour fair value gap to fill, which would be, a draw on price, which works relatively well. We have a couple negatives, of course, with our high time frame gaps above from the previous leg. However, we can only follow our immediate confluences, right? We're in our premium. We've taken buy side liquidity, taken previous daily highs. We're about to break structure possibly. I'll even show you on the M5 what I want to see currently. We have an M5 order block here. We have this nice leg here, right? We have inducement. We have this M5 order block. If we get the right pullback, this would be a nice place for me to short from. We have an M5 breaker structure. However, obviously we have the negative of sweeping the liquidity here. The M15 hopefully will agree with that. So yeah, for me it looks good in the immediate term for shorts. Things to be wary of is today is a US bank holiday. If this doesn't happen soon in London, I doubt I'm going to execute it in New York. So all of this stuff needs to happen quickly. So I hope you gained value from that and you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, leave comments if you need anything from me to explain further, and I'll see you soon.